Okay, let's do this. Um, I don't know how this video is going to be, how it's going to look. I want to like use a ring light. I feel like it's too harsh. Yes, I'm filming this on the floor. You can see my cable management right there. It's like amazing. I'm filming in my robe. I want to feel comfortable while talking about this and just cozy, like I'm talking to a friend, just like not worrying about how I look, or do you know what I mean? It's like whatever. So bear with me. As you can already just tell by the title of the video, you know what I'm going to talk about. I have to tell you, if you're like, why you're looking down or why you're looking in a certain direction, I have my tablet right here. There's notes and just certain things I don't want to like forget to talk about, because this is a huge topic. It's my life story. It's things that happen in my life. So I want to kind of attack like each section of my life. If I sound nasally, weird, I don't know. I have like problems with allergies all the time. Sometimes I just sound too nasally. So yeah, that's the only thing I have. And if I'm like looking down, I might cut it off so it doesn't look weird. I don't know what I'm going to do, but that's the only source. So it's not like this video is scripted in any shape or form. Sometimes when you talk about certain situations or certain stuff, even just a simple video, I feel like we like get like lost in our thoughts a lot, which happens a lot of times to me just in a simple video. So yeah, I just wanted to like not forget about stuff and not forget about mentioning stuff or anything like that. So that's my tablet right here that I have like leaning on my tripod. So I don't know how this video is going to be formatted, if it's going to be heavily edited, if it's not gonna be, because I just do like weird like sounds with my mouth sometimes, or now you're gonna focus on that. Or just certain things that just annoy me. I might leave it like in the video, or me looking down or whatever. There might be situations where editing me comes in, or text will be, shown on the video to like jump in if I forgot something or whatever the situation is. So yeah, this is going to be a lengthy video. I feel like this is going to be like an hour long. So if you don't like long videos, if you're like, oh my god, annoyed, like just click off. Like you don't have to like leave hate. Just be like, oh my god, you could have cut it down to like 2 minutes. Yeah, well then cut your own video down, okay? Like, dude, whatever. So yeah, again, as the title already says, this is a video about my story. So you're probably like, who the fuck are you to film a video about your story? I mean, anyone can. You don't have to be a celebrity or someone perfect or someone that is like a big icon or whatever to film your story. Everyone has their story, and I want to just like help people with my story, to show that, everyone goes through problems and issues and bad experiences. And yeah, like this year in 2020, like just came across a random person. I'm not gonna say who it is, whatever. And that person made me realize that I'm so closed up because of my situations in life that happened and just like experiences with people. And I'm like, wow, Larissa, you have to change this. So my 2020 has been all about just realizing stuff and just embracing me being vulnerable, which is a huge thing. I have never done that. Like, I have been my own support system and my own wall or my own bodyguard for years. So this is not something that just came naturally. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it now. So and then like in January now, where it's like February 1st today, I yeah, like I started realizing that I have to embrace vulnerability. I have to work on that this year. Also just again being more kinder to me. And then it's time to share my story, because as some of you might know, I'm aspiring to be a motivational speaker. So I would have to share my story on some point anyway to, discuss stuff, being like, this is how I am now, and this happened to me, and this I came from this to this. Like I do like motivational speaking on my stream. I'm not promoting stuff in this video, whatever. I'm just mentioning. So um yeah, I'm like doing that, and a lot of people are still like curious, like, Larissa, how are you so positive? How is it like this that you're here like that? How are you coping with stuff? How do you know what I mean? So I was thinking to myself, and I was like, Larissa, like, you're gonna open up about your story, your life story of what you went through on some point anyway, as a motivational speaker. So why not do it now? Why not make a video about it? Why not speak out to everyone that's just listening to me right now, right? So, and I was thinking about it for like days and days to come, and I was like, why would I share this? Like, not like, yeah, again, still embracing vulnerability and, opening up and being vulnerable to maybe thousands of people that I don't care about judgment. I don't like, look, you're gonna understand everything when I tell you about what happened to me in my life or whatever, but I don't care what people think. Like, you can hate me, you can like leave nasty comments. I don't give a shit. That doesn't define me, that does define you. That doesn't affect me, that will affect you on some point, because you will start thinking about the facts that you're saying or whatever. I just don't care about rude, nasty, evil people. I do address them sometimes, and I just show them that, just like, stay in your line, bitch. But I was like, again, back to the topic. When I was thinking about filming this video, I was like, why would I share my story? Because I want to be like a lady. I want to keep it clean, keep it whatever. And I'm like, Larissa, you're like practicing motivational speaking. You're speaking about stuff, coming out with your story or speaking about what happened to you doesn't make you less of a lady or whatever, because there was a time where I was spiraling stuff, where I was comparing myself to others, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to stop like cursing, I have to stop this, I have to, oh my god, this, and why would I share my story? It's too big. Like, some people don't do that, they have a perfect life. But then I'm like, Larissa, they didn't go through the same stuff as you did. And again, your purpose in life is to help people, which it is. Opening people's eyes and just, helping. Like, because a lot of people are out there, when they hear a story, even if it's whatever, just a random story, they're like, oh my god, thank you. It helped me with another problem that I have. And if I can at least do something good with this story, or I can help one person with my story, it's enough. If it doesn't, then it was just therapy for me, because again, embracing vulnerability is the biggest thing I'm doing this year. So, doesn't make me less of a human, doesn't make me less of a lady, or doesn't make me less, even just cursing. Why would I be less of a lady because I curse? That's just my personality. So yeah, then I just decided, finally, it's time. We're gonna do this right now. It's gonna be probably hectic, probably whatever. I was even thinking about just minor stuff, thinking about how am I gonna react when I speak about stuff. Am I gonna cry? Is it gonna look like I'm acting, or looking down? Am I like, does it look like I'm scripted, like this video is scripted, or whatever? And I'm just like, you know what, I don't care. I'm just gonna share my story. If people believe it, they do, whatever. I'm not asking for anyone to believe it. I'm doing this, first of all, for myself. And then, again, kind of mostly for others, but then for myself. But yeah, it's just time, and I'm gonna do it. So, I have to give a huge disclaimer before I start talking about anything. Huge disclaimer. Am I looking here? It's like, because I see myself, whatever. Okay, huge disclaimer. This video is not here for anyone to think that I'm trying to be pity, that I'm trying to like weird for people being like, oh my god, poor Larissa, patting me on the back, or me trying to get empathy, or like anything in a bad context, I could say. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not expecting anything from this. So like, if I might tear up, it's like I'm gonna try to like cut it out. I don't want to people think that I'm trying to be acting like a victim or whatever, which is a big thing that I'm gonna also talk about a video, being a victim. Um and having that mentality, like just keeping it throughout my entire life. But yeah, this is like nothing. I'm not asking for anything. I'm not asking for anyone to support me, to whatever. This is this is not staged. This is nothing like that. Nothing bad. Again, not looking for a pity, not looking for anyone to be like, "Oh my god, poor you." Not like or looking for attention. Okay. So, one thing also I want to start off with, which I have written on the top, is if you are experiencing physical abuse, mental abuse, get in contact with someone, contact the police. If you know of someone that is suffering, they're having problems, or again, they're being abused by family members, someone that is like in a relationship with them, anyone, like contact a teacher, friends, authorities. If you're in the position that you're afraid or you're just lost and you're like, this is not what I want to do my entire life, contact someone. If you're like alone, as I was my entire life, and I could feel like I couldn't talk about it to anyone, then just call the police. Contact the police and ask them, like, just be like, this is what I'm going through. Do you have an idea where I can go to? Or whatever. Just keep on looking for an answer. There's always an answer. There's always help to anything. You can fix any problem. And hurting yourself is never an answer for whatever you're going through your life. Whatever people are saying, hurting yourself is never an answer. You should be your biggest supporter, your biggest pillar that is holding up your life. Don't hurt yourself. It's not worth it. You only have one life. Don't waste it because of bad experiences, you know. So, I was always a big dreamer. When I look back at, small Larissa, I was a big dreamer. I was thinking about big things like, oh my god, looking up to like singers like Britney Spears or just like different artists and things that were like happening or people creating in this life. I was just always looking up and I was such a big dreamer, dreaming about a better life, dreaming about so many happy things and just things like that. But I also knew on the other side that I was different. I was always different with my energy, with what I was thinking about, with my mindset. Okay, we're gonna skip that. My mindset was fucked. But with the thoughts that I was keeping in my head, I was never thinking the same stuff as my pals that were the same age as I was. So I was always like drawing, creating stuff, writing music, lyrics, singing, dancing, planning out my future, planning out something bigger that is awaiting for me in my life. Like, I'm generally a very creative person at heart. I was always like that. So anything outside of the box is me and was always me. So it started off with, my life being in the kindergarten. There is the situation or the time where you start realizing stuff or you see stuff or you encounter stuff or whatever. So in kindergarten, I always felt misplaced. So there were situations where I got face to face to someone just being rude to me or just being like, oh, just, go away. What are you gonna do? I was just like, huh? Like what? I have to say, I've been a rebel throughout my entire life, I could say. In kindergarten, I started going crazy because I just never was like a part of everything else, like a part of a group or, certain kids or whatever. I did have like a few friends, but I always knew that there was something just different, something off. So I just didn't fit in with everyone. So encountering just little like picking on me I didn't find it pleasing. I didn't find it nice. People could be like, I just forgot about it. It was kindergarten. And children do stuff. Children are the worst. Like, children can be the worst. I'm not saying that I don't love children, I don't love kids. But when you're thinking back, children see the worst things sometimes. There is no repercussions. Oh my God. For things that, certain children do or say. So, whatever. But like, kindergarten wasn't always the worst experience. I was like playing, having fun. I always just wanted to go home. But I mean, probably a lot of kids wanted to go home all the time. But I just wanted to mention it because this is where the feeling started of me just feeling like something is off. Then I have to address the biggest issue in my life that has been a part of my life since I can remember. Which is, like, I'm gonna first, like, say something. I hate the word mother. I will always hate it. I'm not connecting any good memories to it, or I just hate the word. Like, I just hate the word, and that's gonna be it. So I'm not gonna address this woman as my mother, my birth mother, but you will know who I'm talking about. So it is her. So the woman that gave me this precious life that I'm currently living, like this precious experience, this precious miracle of me. Oh my God, my foot is falling asleep. Giving me this opportunity to live this life, to do stuff. She was the biggest factor of my life, of me feeling like I'm my worst failure. I was also a part which I detached from her. I detached from my messed up family, which, I mean, a lot of people are living in like a dysfunctional families are normal nowadays. But that was still a part of my journey where I was just like, this is like too much. Like, what the fuck, So, and again, feeling misplaced. My family or the people that are related to me, I always felt like I wasn't a part of the group. I was always, that child from that woman. And that's why I was just like put to the side, just being like, you're not the same as everyone else, from the family. Oh my God, this is gonna be hard. My feet are falling asleep. My room was like always my safe place, my entire life. That's why I just love to stay at home, do my own stuff, and just not go outside. That just kind of implanted in me now because I always stayed in my room because I felt safe, so I could escape abuse or words or anything else. But it sounds weird that I'm mentioning the situation with my room, but it comes into place. That's how why I am kind of also like enjoying my own space nowadays, because I've been just always used to that. So, I'm okay being alone. I'm okay just chilling, just, watching some YouTube, whatever, because, that's just how it is. But just wanted to mention because why not? So, there is someone like coming into place in my life that is a big narcissist, which this woman also was. She was a narcissist. So, which brings me to the fact that you would ask, like, what is a narcissist? A narcissist is a person that pretty much blames you for their problems. So whatever you're gonna do, it's never gonna be good enough. They're gonna say bad stuff to you all the time. They're gonna like lick your wounds and then stab you, and lick your wounds and stab you, and it's a never-ending circle. So she was switching from being good, being like lovey-dovey, not lovey-dovey, in a daughter way, relationship, how it should be. But then it came to the abuse and everything. So it was just like back and forth, calling me names, back and forth. So that was the entire life that I remember. It was just all about that. So narcissists hurt you. Narcissists are not nice. It's just a encounter that you never want to have ever in your life. She made me feel worthless. She made me feel like I can never reach any goals in my life. I'm like, stupid. I am crazy. I'm gonna go to, I don't know how those schools or like institutes or whatever they're called, where bad children go to. So she always was like telling me, you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there. And she just kept doing that. She like always also, kept telling me that I'm never gonna make it in life. I'm lazy. I'm stupid. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Always. She never listened to whatever I had to say. Even when I talked about big dreams, like singing or whatever, she was just like, thinking to herself, being like, oh my God, like, shut the fuck up. She called me all the names in the book. All the names in the book. So, you can imagine it was a nice time being a kid. Being abused by your own parent. It was a fight that I had to fight on a daily. Even just tiny things, or just me being afraid of consequences or whatever is going to happen. I was always just on the edge and just afraid. So as you can imagine, we come to the point where I tell you, she was like, besides the fact that she was mentally abusing me all the time, she was physically abusing me. You might have seen a video that I posted a while ago. I made it private. I don't know. I just had a feeling where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make it private. I don't want this to be on my channel. Not that I'm ashamed, because why would I be ashamed of something that someone did to me? And even when I was younger. So she was mentally and physically abusing me all the time. I was always afraid and just waiting for that moment where I say something wrong, or I stand up for myself, or say back. Then I'm gonna get hit, and you're gonna be like, you should never talk back to your parent. You should never do that, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about your opinion. No kid should go through anything like that. Also, when we take in the fact that that is a big trauma of my life. This is not a, oh my God, I got hit with a belt one time and whatever, ha ha ha. Because there's a lot of people that go through that, or were getting a smack on their ass and whatever. But that was a big trauma that happened in my life, and I still consider it trauma. And it is, in fact, that the person that I am today, it is because of that. But still, I wouldn't even wish it on my worst enemy. So let's get back. Constant physical abuse, hitting me in the face, giving me bruises. There were times where I thought about going to the police, but I was just like, no, you know what? And then she, because she's a narcissist, kept being like, oh my God, it's okay, everything's gonna go away, all the bruises are gonna go away, blah blah blah, and then using me for stuff, and do this and do that and blah blah blah, and just like kept going in a circle, going from, oh, my precious, and oh, could you do this for me, to hitting me, calling me names, duh, duh, duh. So it kept going like this. So this was my entire life. This was my entire life, almost up to me being 18. So when I was like around 18, she still kept going like that. But she realized that I grew up to be my own support system. So she realized that on some point she cannot do that anymore. So I can remember being 18-ish. She tried to hit me. I grabbed onto her arm. I was like, you cannot do that anymore with me. You can't. And then that moment, she was acting. She was acting like she's, oh my God, I'm falling over, blah, 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 like fainting, whatever. I'm like, I only grabbed you by your hand. I didn't hit you. She, by that point, realized that she has no power over me anymore. So, yeah, with that big chunk of my life, it made me feel like I'm never gonna reach my goals. Whatever I think or dream or even wish for is bullshit. Like, what is Larissa gonna do? What is Larissa gonna do? Because I am a piece of shit. I'm whatever, stupid, I'm crazy, something's wrong with me all the time. And I just, the abuse, the abuse, the abuse, me crying, just saying, please stop, please no. And again, certain parents could be like coming in the comment section, being like, well, my child is not allowed to tell me back or say back things to me. Okay, I get that, but are you gonna hit your child for that? Or whatever your child does, are you always just gonna take abuse and mental abuse for that? No, you're not gonna. But I do understand your point. So that was already hard with me. I kept dealing with that. I kept just like being in my room, closing myself in my room, playing either video games or whatever it was at that point in time existing. I was doing just being with myself. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have anyone to be like, whatever. So it was just like me and myself in my room my entire life. Just still, I was always just doing my own thing, following my dreams, creating, brainstorming for stuff. And, but I was very lonely. I was very lonely. Again, I was like having this big scar in my heart and in my soul that was already hard. That made me feel like I want to die a lot of times. I was just like, why am I going through this? Why can I not live in a family where everyone just accepts me and I'm not like the black duckling type of deal, where I have a nice parent situation where I'm not being abused all the time and being called names and being controlled and being whatever, I was very depressed. I was very sad. I was crying all the time. I was just like, I felt like I'm in a cage. I felt like I'm in a cage and it's never gonna stop. And that was everything that I was used to all the time before she moved out and she realized that there is no power here to take anymore. So, in midst of that, I started going to middle school. Besides encountering the bullying from the woman that brought me into this world, physically and mentally abusing me all the time. Also, forgot to mention, see, that's gonna happen all the time, is she was telling other people, when people were like, they were like joking. It's like people were joking, being like, oh, so when Larissa does something, something bad, does she get like a slap on the ass or something type of deal? And she was always being like, and just like not speaking the truth. It was all different outside and just behind the closed doors at home, that she was always like, when she does something wrong, something happens, it was just all just like seemingly normal and just being like, when a kid does something bad, something's gonna happen. But she was never like, I'm gonna like hit her all the time, even when I'm angry or I'm frustrated, she's gonna get the pain. So I always thought about that fact, how she's like making things seem as they're not, while like behind four walls, everything was way worse than it was on the outside. But back to the story. Again, it came to me going to middle school. That's when hell started. Again, with the abuse at home, I got the abuse in school all the time. I always remembered the little Larissa trying to fit in. I always wanted to just have fun and just like talk with people. But there were a lot of people that just didn't accept me, and I was always just that girl on the side, that girl that's gonna be picked on all the time, that girl that just wanted to make friends. She wanted to be, with the cool kids. Like, who doesn't want to do that, right? Fun fact, when you become an adult, those people are not popular anymore. It's not a thing. But, I always wanted to just make friends and just, be okay with everyone. But of course, Larissa was picked on all the time. Being called ugly a lot of times, even behind my back. Like, there is a situation where I can remember it as clear as they were. There was a girl and a boy talking about me, and she was like, and they were privately talking about it. And I walked by and I heard, oh yeah, Larissa's so ugly, and it made me feel like, oh my god, like what more can I do? It was already hard because people were just bullying me and picking on me all the time. It was just like, oh, what is wrong with your neck? What's wrong with your face? Oh my god, this, whatever I was wearing, whatever I was doing, I was like, there was the situation all the time where I just didn't want to go to school. And I clearly remember that situation where I walked into you walk into the school and there's the area, like in a part of the school where you take off your shoes and your coat and put on your slippers and go off, whatever. I always dreaded that moment. I was so afraid that people were just gonna pick on me and just be nasty and rude to me, which happened all the time. People kept hiding stuff from me, my own stuff, whatever, um, just being mean all the time. Whatever I was wearing, trying to be fashionable. You have to remember, I'm like born in the 90s, so there was a time where fashion was still, it was evolving, happening. There wasn't a lot of things that are today. So, for example, I got like ballerina shoes. So when you think about ballerina shoes, they're so cute, right? Mine were like ballerina style, but they had like a zigzag, like spaghetti thing over it. So they were like so cute. I got so picked on by that. It was just like, oh my god, you have the most ugly shoe. What the fuck are you wearing? It was just like not in that manner, but I'm trying to explain to you. They weren't like saying what the fuck, but I mean, they said a lot. And were picking on me because whatever I could wear, I could be the most stylish kid in the school. I was never enough. Whatever I did, it was never enough. I could never fit in. So I remember that situation and whatever. But after some time, ballerina shoes were in. A lot of people were wearing them, even including people that picked on me because of that. So, yeah, again, no matter how much I tried to fit in, I got pushed away. And I became very snappy to protect myself. Also, there is a fact that came in with me going to school that I felt like I'm in a cage. School was always a cage for me, even high school. Like I have huge respect for you if you went to school and you loved school or your school experience. Sorry again that I'm looking up here, is whatever. If you had a great experience, you're going to college, like props to you. I'm proud of you. But I always hated school generally because it felt like a cage to me. It was not something for me ever. Ever since I remember being, small Larissa. But yeah, back to the topic. I became very snappy to protect myself. I had to protect myself somehow because I got picked on all the fucking time. Got into fights, this and that. And then, when I just wasn't interested in school, people thought that I'm stupid. Oh my god, this and that. Even though I was even time to time trying my hardest with the things that I didn't know or whatever, it was still like just a constant thing. Whatever I did, like in the class, giving speeches or having projects, I was so nervous to speak around all the kids because they were just always just finding things to pick on me and just bullying me all the time. Whatever, my hair, oh my god, this, that. And there was a section in my life where I was just like, I was going through a harsh time with my skin. So again, I was born in the 90s, so you can imagine that at that time in life, we didn't have the internet to be like, acne skin, what can I find? Or there weren't many products on the market to be like, oh, this is gonna fix my skin. I was trying like, expensive stuff or whatever, to fix my skin. So many things that I tried didn't work. So I had such a bad skin situation. It was horrible. It was horrible. So like in fourth grade, I think I already started wearing makeup in fourth grade. Makeup on a daily to make myself look pretty. Just because of the fact that I was suffering with bad skin. So I was wearing foundation every single day. Am I doing that now? No. I don't need to. Even with, a scar or a pimple. I don't care. But, back in the day, it was a huge deal. So when I was already just so excluded from everyone, and again, whenever I tried to do stuff like play volleyball, like during PE, I was always, oh, here it goes, Larissa, like whatever. It was just look at as the most disgusting fucking being in this world. So yeah, I was wearing makeup every single day. I even started wearing eye makeup, like proper eye makeup. So I was very into like fashion and makeup and everything. So, those professional that have used brushes, because back in the day it was a thing where professionals only used brushes, those were the professionals. So I didn't have the money for that. I was so young, whatever. So what did I do? I took the brushes that I used in art class, and I started using those as makeup brushes. I still have, I think one or two that I use still as brushes from back in the day. Interesting, right? So I was always doing my signature, which I could redo, but I don't have a picture. There's a lot of stuff I erased from my past because I didn't like how I looked, and it was just a bad time. So I could talk about that on some point in this video anyway, or if I forget, just remind me next time. So I was doing my signature smoky eye, white, black under mascara. I was like a proper adult in a fucking kid's body, trying to look like pretty for myself, and also the thing is, boys never like were interested in me, I was always that ugly girl, that girl that no one liked, that girl that everyone picks on. So I was, besides, trying to look pretty, I was, trying to impress someone. Like no one fucking gave a fuck anyway. So no matter again how much I tried to look pretty, to be a girl, to just do my own thing, even not talk to anyone, I was always just like, I could always see they were talking about me. They were, again, calling me names, attacking me during class when I said something, or they were giving me the looks. I could see that, So I made a few friends, but I had always issues with them. There was always drama. So even the few friends that I had, I didn't have on some point. So I was just like alone. I mean, I was kind of alone almost the entire time in school, I could say, almost. So, the real pain, again, this was already painful. Being bullied, I was already so stressed because of that. Because I tried my best. There were even certain situations that happened, but, I don't remember everything. Also, when it comes to trauma or things that were bad in your life, you forget about it. So, yeah, it was already hard anyway. It was already hard for me. It was just like a bad experience anyway. I was very depressed and just sad, and I was a very sad kid, like always just being that outcast. But just like never liking school. I still don't. I think personally for me, first, again, that's my personal opinion. So whatever, school is the biggest waste of time, at least for me, for myself, it was. So, teachers always just see me as a lazy fuck. I mean, I was not doing my stuff, so that's why they saw me like that. And just being like, oh, you know, that mentality of like giving their energy to you, being like, you're never gonna make it in life. Like, who the fuck? You're so stupid. You're probably like more stupid just than the problematic people in school. So true hell started when I started my YouTube channel. Yes, I had a YouTube channel years and years back when I was in middle school. I started a YouTube channel. I always had that dream to sing. And that's when the time happened where the already hard bullying that was happening from people and just picking on me and fighting with me all the time and this and that, even though whatever I tried to do, it wasn't good enough. The bullying got 1,000 times harder. What I'm going to say is, if you like look at my face and you're like, oh my god, I knew it too, and you're gonna start making fun of me. First thing, because I encountered that one thing after years and years, like from a little girl being like, "Oh my god, it's you!" Haha. I'm like, "Wow, child, like, just fuck off." Do you know what I mean? But I didn't care. I was just like, I was having a good time. I don't care, dude. Um, but if you're like, "Oh, ha ha ha," first thing that I have to say, my singing was very bad back then. Am I regretting what I did? No. No, because I always was following my dreams and my what I loved. Like, what I'm going to say is, and I will stand by that, no matter what you do in life, if it's not hurting someone, if you're not a bad person, evil, and you're doing something for you or whatever, you don't deserve to be bullied. You don't deserve to be hurt by because of other people, because of that fact or whatever. You don't deserve that. You don't. So, yeah, back to the topic. My singing was very bad because I wasn't properly singing. So, you know, when you sing with your diaphragm and blah blah blah, you sing with your, how to explain, um with your voice. So it's like what I was doing back then, I was suppressing my voice. So it was just like whatever. Whatever, you know. How do I sing today? You're probably like, "Oh my god, you can still not sing." I can sing a bit to you. Light up, as if you had the choice, even if you cannot hear my voice, I'll be right beside you, dear. Louder, louder, and we'll run for our lives. I can hardly speak, understand that you would raise your voice to say, oh, 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 or our thing that I love to sing a lot, and people love when I sing that. Well, I heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the Bethel King composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I'm never saying that I'm a professional singer. I'm never saying that I am the best singer in this world. Um, there were years and years where I just didn't sing. Just, I don't know why. So, my voice got very rusty. So now when I stream, I sometimes just start singing because I love singing generally. And people like it. I'm not saying that I'm a professional. Some people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, she sounds the same." I don't sound the same. There was like a moment in my life where an ex-friend told me, "Larissa, you're singing wrong." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" I was suppressing my voice. I don't even know how to explain it. I was just like, just, I wasn't using this voice. I wasn't using this voice. I was using another voice. So it was sounding wrong. So when she showed me and I started practicing, it was way different. But, you know, that's when the times came where everything that I did on the internet already escalated. And again, I'm not saying that I'm a professional singer. Am I going to pursue it on some point in life? Yeah, because I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm not a professional. I'm not Britney Spears, whatever. I'm not comparing myself to anyone. But I can know that I can improve my voice and that my voice is not the worst. At least now, not anymore. So even though I changed my singing voice at some point, the damage that happened with me posting YouTube videos of me singing has started a wave of hate, the worst bullying. and everything. So again, you can imagine it was already hard. Then the bullying was times 10. Times 10. Not times 10, actually, times 1,000. So, my eyelashes are actually weird. I have to keep fixing them because I tried to fix them a tiny bit. My eyelash extensions, they're crazy today when I want to fucking film this. But yeah, if you want to hear me sing all the time, you can check my Twitch. I even do Twitch sings. Like, I love singing. Like, even Hallelujah I've done on Twitch sings on there's like a professional level. I've done it with all the stars and I'm so proud. But again, I sing all the time. I don't care. I'm proud of who I am and I like my voice. I like how I sing. Whatever. It came from a 0 to 1,000. Not to, from 100 to 1,000. It's when kids realized in school that I had a YouTube channel and that I was trying to sing. Even, people, I mean, there was a lot of times where I just didn't read comments. But I knew that people were like making fun of me even on the internet and whatever. But the bullying that was happening in real life was worse than any comments from any random people. Where people started gathering in schools, like in big groups, like huge groups, making fun of me, calling me by that username, blah, 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 doing this and that, and trying to make me feel bad, and pushing me in the worst depression that I was already experiencing, then pushing me into just wanting to die every single day. And again, whatever you do in life, if it's not causing any hurt to anyone else, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve the bullying and anything. And I don't care whoever says whatever. No. People were starting to group in huge groups in schools and just even telling other people whatever, the word was spreading. I was just always just abused even more, just like picked on and bullied even more. I was looked at as a clown anyway, like in the first place. Then I was just like, I don't know how to explain it. Then I was just looked like as the worst disgusting piece of shit on this world and trying to just make as much fun of me as they could. So they did. And the worst thing that happened was word was spreading. So people that were going to the schools in my city got to know that I was singing on YouTube and doing YouTube. There were huge groups everywhere throughout the entire city. They were just standing there yelling at me, making fun of me, bullying me to the hardest, calling me names. It was such a hard time. Even like in certain areas of the city where people were like gathering generally, and then they saw me and it was just a shit fest. I even tried to, or she tried to like connect with the police and ask if they can do something, but they can't with this situation. Or I don't know if she ever like contacted them, but apparently there was nothing they could do. I mean, they couldn't. But yeah, even people like taking pics of me outside and making hate groups on Facebook and just abuse, bullying, picking on. Again, people could say, you made that yourself, you created yourself. Yeah, I did the singing, but I didn't ask for the bullying. I didn't ask for the humiliation. I didn't ask for anyone to make me want to die or make me feel like I want to die. So yeah, it escalated so much that when I went out, and I still have this habit anyway, because I love listening to music when I just go from A to B. That's a general thing. I love listening to music. But I think it's like a habit that, I was doing for years, and it's like generally there. I started wearing headphones and started like listening to music when I was going to school or anywhere, so I couldn't hear people talk about me or acknowledge that people are looking at me and calling me names and just whatever. I was just always afraid to go out. I was just like, I was dreading the fucking times when I have to go out because I felt like everyone was like looking at me and just, laughing at me and just, whatever. I was so depressed. I was so depressed. I was already again dealing with the fact that I had an abusive woman at home that was abusing me all the time. Then also the fact that, I was already bullied by her, then bullied by people in school, then that multiplied. So there were already those people were already there. So then people from the outside, people from the internet, I was just like, whatever. Again, people could say, you done it yourself, it's your fault, whatever. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Like, no child or no one deserves that amount of bullying. No one. No one. From random people, from people you don't even know, outside in the public, in the middle of the city. No. And I was so scared. Can you imagine me being at, I don't know, 10, 12, 13, 12, 13-ish, with that amount of hate every single day from everyone, from already home, then blah, 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 teachers, always just people looking at me like I'm the most disgusting thing, thinking that I'm the worst, that I cannot do anything in life. Ha ha ha, you're failing because you're doing this YouTube thing, so you're embarrassing yourself. Yeah. That was a hell of a time. There was even just a thing that I said once, and I remember it, like probably remember it, like my entire life. Which, a thing that I said one day to her, I was like, I hope that when I cross the road today or tomorrow, a car hits me and it's gonna stop. I want to die so badly. Am I that type of a person where I would like, kill myself? No. I'm not that person. I would never be able to like hurt myself. Did I like hurt myself at some point? Yeah, but not as bad as some people go, because again, I'm such a pussy and I can't do it. I can't hurt myself. That's one good thing I could say. That is about me. But yeah, I was so depressed. I was just like, I'm trying to follow my dreams. Why is everyone so mean to me? Like, again, no one, like, even generally in this world, like, you don't have to agree with someone, or you can think that someone's ugly, or they cannot sing, or they cannot dance, or whatever, but why abuse someone to the fucking, like, point where they could, like, kill themselves? A lot of people, and just, again, back to the fact what I said in the beginning, children are the worst. They have no filter. They just keep on going, 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 going. With the fact that I already had problems at home, school, generally, people bullying me, generally, feeling like I'm a piece of shit. I don't deserve the love. I don't deserve anything good. And I didn't want to leave my bed. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do stuff. I was just like, I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to be my own thing. Why are people so ugly? Why are some people evil? Like, why are they so evil? Why are they so cold? How can they not think about what damage they're doing to a human? That's the thing that people don't think generally about nowadays. They don't know what damage they're doing with their words, with their actions to a human being. So one thing I would mention to the people that did the bullying or still laugh at me: could you sleep if I killed myself because of you? Could you, like, live on with the fact that I took my life? A lot of people would probably make fun of that at that point in time if I did it. It would be like, ha ha ha. Like, first of all, it would be like, what the fuck? But it would be like, ha ha, weak Larissa, whatever. So yeah, I was trying to move on with that part of my life. It was hard because, again, word was spreading. Whatever, I was trying to move on. I was like, whatever, I have to stop, like, my singing thing situation. I was happy my singing improved, but it was too late. So, I was even participating in school where I could, like, sing because I loved it. And I did. But when I was way, like, later in school and when I was way older. And I did fail my years in school a lot of times. Am I ashamed of that? No. Even in high school, because school was never for me and I was so forced to do something and whatever. People could be like, but that means you're not smart because whatever. No, school wasn't for me. I was so forced being there. Just even like dealing with people. Do you know what I mean? So it was just like it wasn't for me. I was never interested in it. It was just I'm a creative soul. I love my free space to just run and just create, and do you know what I mean? So but yeah, it was the hardest time of my life. Probably the second hardest besides that bitch abusing me. So yeah, I was a huge rebel at that time because I was just trying to be my own protective system. Because I didn't have a bigger brother or anyone protecting me at any point in life, generally. And then when I was younger, I didn't have a me, now adult Larissa, being like, stop, leave her alone. I never had anyone. She did something, she was like, but that everything was just fake and just whatever. That could be another topic for another day. So there was a time where I tried to do something to myself, but it was because of another reason, because of my toxic family members. It was a certain toxic family member. I'm not gonna go into details, whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's just everyone in my family is a lunatic, so fucking crazy, just negative, just stabbing each other, just lies over lies over lies over lies. And again, I'm just gonna give out a tiny message. Just because someone in our family you didn't like, and you're gonna automatically hate me. Well, good for you, because when I'm on top of the iceberg and I'm gonna have a great life, don't even try to fucking contact me. We're not related anymore. But yeah, there was a time where I tried to cut myself with a pair of tiny scissors. I didn't go for my veins. I went for here because, again, I'm such a pussy when it comes to self-hurting. It could sound wrong, but that means that I just couldn't do it at any point in time. I would not be able to do it. So I did that, and yeah, it was just a big thing that kept remembering, like I kept remembering, was that I just wanted to die. I just wanted to disappear. It's just sad. It's a big sad this thing, situation, whatever. But yeah, when it came to high school, I was at that point in life where I was feeling like comfortable, I could say. Like I was okay, whatever. People were still bullying me. Still bullying me, even being at 17, 16, like still kept on going. Some people were like realized, oh, that's the girl from the YouTube. And just generally. Because one thing I realized as an adult is people never liked my energy. Never. Even when I was as a child in school. That's probably why people just bullied me. I was just always different. I was just always different. Like thinking differently, and also had to grow up so fast. I had to become an adult in a child's body to be able to survive. And I always just saw things differently, as with even just the beginning of stages of bullying. I had to grow up so fast. I didn't have a beautiful times being 18, going to, I don't know what, that prom situation or whatever in life that you do as a child and as a teen. I never had that. There's a lot of things I didn't have. So I had to grow up through it the entire time, and now I'm an adult. So when it came to high school, still continuing, like teachers thinking that I'm never gonna make it, like I'm so stupid, like I'm not trying, whatever. I'm just like, oh, just give me the faces. It was the same as, in middle school, because I just wasn't interested. And, again, people bullying me, people picking on me because I was different. I still consider myself different, even though there's a lot of people that are different and we can all just make a big group. But I was always like that. And one thing, see, my thoughts are running. That's why it's nice to have notes. But back to the topic of what I was saying. It's like people never liked me because they didn't like my positive energy. They didn't like my different energy. My energy is strong. I know nowadays as an adult, um like people are intimidated by me. And throughout my life, they were intimidated by me and my energy because I had a positive energy. They were not liking my positive energy. And again, I have to say this, if you're bullied, if you're being bullied right now, whatever is happening bad in life from someone else, it's not your fault. It's their fault. And that's a big thing I realized as an adult. It was never my fault. Even when I did the singing thing, whatever, never my fault. It was just me doing my own thing, my energy, everything. People were intimidated by the things I did. They were like, what the fuck? You know, I didn't fit into the shoebox. I never did. So throughout my entire like high school experience, still people were coming along that didn't even know me and just didn't like me. With me just existing, not saying anything. Which again, intimidated by my energy, intimidated by me being just different and just whatever. But it was just a different Larissa at that point in time. Still wasn't as happy, but you know, different. So, as I mentioned, I'm a very creative person. So, even in middle school, I started like creating logos, writing music, as I said, drawing. So in middle school, I again started doing stuff like, I was like, oh my God, I want to write a book, and just like big ideas. Like again, having my own company, which I had the idea about when I was in middle school, and just doing stuff again. But I was doing my own thing again. So it was whatever. I was still trying to do the stuff in school and go with the school stuff, even in middle school. It's not like I never tried. But because of me just not being for school not being for me, it never worked out. So I was still like afraid to speak in front of everyone because people just kept picking on me. It was just always a thing. And again, as an adult, I realized that, you know, you realize a lot of stuff where not everyone's gonna like you. And I just realized it wasn't me. It was my energy. It was me just being different, me being me. A lot of people probably wanted to be me and wanted to have some traits that I have. And some people are going to say, oh my God, you think that you're the best, that you think like that. No, that's the truth. Because again, people bully you, attack you for their own reasons. They try and to project stuff onto you, whatever. So whatever bad is happening in your life, it's not your fault. It's never your fault. So yeah, still going through that stage where people were still kept bullying me, but I was attacking back. I didn't give a fuck. Because on some point in middle school, even with that situation where with the big bullying situation with my singing thing, I had to grow up, so I had to stood up for myself anyway, so I started attacking back anyway. But you know, me in high school, I was ahead of time of where I was in middle school. I had a few people that I talked to, which was nice. But still, I felt so alone. I mean, again, my entire life, I was kind of alone-ish, you know. I was going through my own battles, trying to heal from bullying, physical abuse, so many traumatic experiences, do you know what I mean? So I was just going through life, whatever. During my high school situation, I was failing so many years. Again, I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care. Because now, as an entrepreneur, I love what I'm doing and I'm happy. And I know that school, again, wasn't for me. And it's never going to be. Again, if you love school, if you're going to college, if you're loving your time, props to you. I'm so proud of you. If you want to go to college or want to do high school or whatever, like it is in life, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that you should just like hate it as I did. No, I'm proud of you because we're not all the same, you know? So I'm proud of you for that. Everyone that loves to do what they're doing in life is a plus. So yeah, I during my life built up this wall to protect me because again, I didn't have anyone to protect me but myself. I had to be my own support system to protect me. But you know, even outside of school, people still kept like disappointing me, people lying to me, deceiving me, blah 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 all the time. It was just like I was just like always on the edge of being like, is this person gonna I never trusted anyone ever. It was so hard. So when it came to me getting my first boyfriend, I felt like wanted. I was like, I was always searching for that love that I never got, even as a child. I was always searching for that protection that I never got, like at any point in time. So when I had my first boyfriend, everything was nice until everything fell apart and it was a huge burden on my heart and it was a hard time. I don't want to talk about it. There's no place to talk about it, at least not now or whatever. Um, doesn't matter. I got cheated on. It was a hard time. Just the worst breakup ever, could I say. So it was a big time. That was just a big betrayal for me personally, because being cheated on is not the prettiest thing. But generally, high school still kept going. People didn't like me. It was just an ongoing thing. Then I switched my school, and still people were like, it was less. It was way different. It was way easier, way different, way better. But there were still people that, again, intimidated by my energy. Am I saying that because you're intimidated by me and my energy that I should be in charge for that? No. It's your thing. It's your fault. It's your situation. It's not me. Never gonna be me. I'm just doing my own thing. So if you're whatever, your thing, your situation. So it was still going on, but I was way different in high school than I was in middle school or as a child. Or even like, in kindergarten, feeling like I didn't really like fit in. It was just, an awkward time. But, when you leave school, when you become an adult, you realize that still people are gonna, lie to you, deceive you, which had happened. But I was just always still alone. I always felt alone, even just me being alone. I was just like, whatever, still depressed. I, throughout my entire life, was carrying that burden of being a victim. I always saw myself as a victim. I always asked God, the universe, why did this happen? Why me? Why did I have to suffer? Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? Always. I always saw myself as a victim because I was so hurt. I was so depressed. I was still, even when I healed, sorry, I'm fixing my hair. Even when I healed from stuff, it's still here. And you're still carrying it on your back, So I was carrying all the weight. I felt like it could be like me carrying my own self as a child on my back. Still keep, carrying myself. So it was just a burden. So yeah, when I, at some point in school, the woman, she, I could say like, left, like whatever. Thank God, because if she didn't, I would have killed her. Like, that's whatever. That's another topic for another time. But yeah, it's like going through being in a relationship and doing just general things. It was still like making me feel so alone. I was still so fucking lonely and so alone, so freaking alone. But another part of my life started when I left high school, which was amazing. Like generally when I was finished. I mean, I have to still finish a few things, but I could just go and I wasn't forced to come back. There was even a hard time happening with other stuff. Again, for another day, it was already hard. When there's a lot of things happening throughout your entire life, I'm going to say that I was going through stuff where someone got cancer and I had to be there for them. Me. I had to be the pillar holding up everything together. So you can imagine like every experience, and then it's just like, you're the support system. I would never take back the things that I did. Or I mean, again, what I'm going to say is, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I did things that weren't okay, or sad things that aren't okay. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes. But just experience and everything together, it was just a weird feeling, just a weird situation. So when this was happening with the situation, whatever, it was so hard. Because, I was always used to, helping people, trying to help people, which, again, I love. And I'm happy if I ever help anyone in life. But I always needed the help, too. I needed the pat on the back. But, deep depression was rooted in me throughout my entire life. From, again, all of the experience, trauma, all the everything, So yeah, then we come across a situation, a very big situation, which was happening when I was still kind of by the end of the um, time of my high school experience. Is I went into a toxic relationship. Like, did I see the red flags that I would avoid today? Yeah. Did I learn from that experience? Yeah. That was still kind of happening when this person was still kind of in this leaving situation, being like, I'm gonna leave this household. I'm like, just fucking leave, bitch. But it was happening in between with my toxic relationship. In this toxic relationship, he physically abused me. He mentally abused me. He threw stuff at me. He spit in my face, called me worthless, made me feel ugly, telling me, oh, I never thought that you were gorgeous. I never thought that you were beautiful until I fell in love with you. Telling me, things like that to make me feel like, to like shelter me in so I could be like, telling me that, oh my God, whatever, I'm gonna leave you, I'm never gonna come back, making me feel like whatever. One thing I want to mention is, again, if you're experiencing abuse in any way, get help, call the police. But like, I had, like, I could say, those rose glasses on, pink glasses on, but I still was standing up to him. I was never afraid of him. One thing that you have to know about me, I'm not afraid of anyone but death. Death is the only thing I'm afraid of. So I was standing up to him face to face, being like, fucking punch me, bitch. Come on, pussy, punch me. I'm not afraid. I could do the same with another dude. There was a situation that I went out and just dudes were rude to me. I'm like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm not afraid of anyone. But continuing, like, I was still like standing up to myself. I wasn't like letting him do whatever, So I was punching him too, like, doing the same. But as I mentioned, like on the beginning, he was the second narcissist that I met in my life. So he was licking the wounds, stabbing me. Did he hit me? Yeah, he did. Again, he threw things at me, called me names, like was screaming in the middle of the city being drunk because he was a drug addict. He was an alcoholic. He still is an alcoholic and a drug addict. Did I ever had like a alcoholic problem or with drugs? No. I never like have done drugs. I only tried to smoke weed once. Was coughing so hard that I was just like, because I was offered drugs all the time when I was even younger, all the fucking time, but I never wanted and I never felt the need because I was like, I'm crazy on my own. I can have fun without it, and I'm still with this mentality. Not judging if anyone's doing weed. Weed is another topic, but whatever. Yeah, but back to the situation, there was situations where he was just screaming in the middle of the city, screaming outside of my house, like fighting with people where I had to call the police, where he got punched, like dragging him into the ER or whatever situation, helping him out so many times. So many times, things that I wouldn't do now with other people. But he just kept doing his like abusive shit with me, kept just manipulating me so I could be like just even cut off from anyone, even by my dad. Cut off by making me feel like, oh, no one wants the best for me but him. That's narcissistic behavior and even more stuff. Narcissistic thing that people do is they see themselves as just perfect. They haven't done anything, And his trait was also that he saw himself as the best fucking human ever. He still does, and thinks he's the most beautiful fucking human ever, which could be a topic. But it was just like, yeah, it was just like, even when he did bad things, he's like, I never done anything to you, forgive me. He was always trying to get forgiveness from me. Whatever. He kept doing the same thing, going on and on, stabbing, licking wounds, blah, 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 asking for forgiveness, always saying that he never done anything bad to me. Even when we broke up, when I left him, actually, he said, oh, I never done anything to you. What do you mean? I'm like, you did this. No, I haven't. I'm like, wow. I don't know if that's also a narcissistic trait, or another that he's forgetting, or he's like pushing it in his soul and just pretending, because a lot of people do that. They do damage and then they just don't acknowledge the damage that they have done. So yeah, he was doing all of bad things. Even cherry on the top was that his family never liked me for the most stupidest thing, which was that I didn't know how to cook. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat it for the party in the back. His family, besides his dad, hated me because I didn't know how to cook. That's the reason. Yeah. So again, they were just like saying bad shit, always just like talking behind my back. It was such a burden because I knew that I'm a good person. I still know that I am. And that I connect with so many people and I'm just me being me. And even with elderly people, I'm always nice to everyone that is nice to me. I'm never thinking ill will or wishing ill will onto anyone or whatever. If you're nice to me, I'm gonna be nice to you. So I knew that there is nothing wrong with me, but there's a lot wrong with them. They're crazy. Like, we're just like so negative, and it's like, again, a trait that he has. So it was just like they were like just pushing things that he was doing and protecting him by any cost. So whatever he did was still kind of my fault because I was speaking up. They were telling me all the time, just shut up, just like listen to him, just do what he says. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was always that mentality, even with the rose colored glasses. The rose colored glasses in my situation was that I always just kept giving him chances and believing that he's gonna change, that he's gonna stop his drug addiction for me, that he's gonna stop being a drunkhead. But also, again, if you're going through the same situation, that person's never gonna change. They're never gonna change ever. It's the abuse or the mental abuse is never gonna stop. So please leave this situation. So yeah, I was just whatever, continuing with the bullshit, like him almost killing himself, like not committing suicide, but situation where he almost died. It was just like so stressful all the time. Besides the fact also that like a long ass time after, when I was done with him, whatever, I got to know that he like cheated on me the entire relationship ever since the beginning. I was just like, it was a thing that hit me, not because he did it or I loved him or I still was loving him. No, just the fact that someone cheats on you in the entire relationship and you know what they did to you anyway. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, time flies by. He was still doing the shit, blah, blah, blah. Kept saying that, oh my God, I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna get help. I'm gonna improve this. I'm gonna stop this. But then he came to the point where he was like, I'm never gonna stop drinking, but I will like reduce it or whatever. It was like, whatever. So time kept going on, whatever. It was still going on, so stressful, so isolated. Just listening to his words, being heard all the time what he had to say to me. And calling me names, like calling me names in the public, calling me a whore, bitch, you ugly bitch. Who are you looking at? He was so jealous. Whoever I looked at, whoever was interested in me, God forbid, because I had an issue then. I had problems. But yeah, again, just trying to keep him out of bad situations and doing that, it was just like another topic. But as times flew by and when we were like breaking off and getting back together, like on some point I stopped loving him and I'm like, it's time. I was like, it's happening. So I decided to leave him and he was trying to get back, not back at me, but trying to make me jealous by, getting another girlfriend, blah, 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 calling me, writing me texts, telling me that, please come and we're gonna hang out and blah blah blah. Again, even with his family, whatever I did in life, even just being nice, it wasn't enough. They always just saw me as whatever, as a piece of shit, whatever, Larissa, being a bad person. But yeah, I was just like, no, I'm not coming back first of all to your family, like toxic family. Like and I had enough toxicity in my life, so I'm like, no. And then I was just like, no, I'm not coming back. I had enough. I literally had enough. First of all, again, because I didn't love him anymore, which was so liberating. And I could just walk away. And it was a proper breakup. And I left. And I was like, I'm done. And I left. It was the best decision ever. I was still like so anxious because I was anxious all the time that he's gonna show up and start screaming in front of my house. Not because of other people hearing it, just because of that fact. I was always anxious. But as time flew by and I realized that he's never gonna try the things again and come back or appear or whatever, I was just like, it's done. It's done. So I kept going, and I was so depressed. I mean, I was depressed my entire life. So, it's a deep-rooted issue that I had. Wounds, trauma, depression, sadness, feeling not loved, feeling like I'm never going to be accepted. And again, people deceiving me, using me. An ongoing thing, even after leaving him or before. So, on some point, I realized, even before meeting my third, now ex-boyfriend, I was realizing that I was in a big rooted depression because I felt like I was on the bottom for a while, but then I kind of came out of it, but then fell into a bigger and deeper hole. When I thought that depression cannot get lower than that, yeah, it got lower than that. So, yeah, like that was so hard. And I was stuck in this depression, and I felt like, I don't know, what am I doing in life? What am I gonna do? Blah blah blah. I feel like I'm lost. I'm like, what have deep rooted issues, deep rooted wounds that like were never fixed. They were just putting a band-aid on it and finding a partner to try and make me feel happy. But happiness is not in another person. Happiness is not in a material thing. Happiness is not in whatever. I had to fix here and fix here. So I mean, I discovered the law of attraction on some point anyway when I was with my toxic ex-boyfriend now. But didn't hit me as much as it did when I decided that I have to fix my issue. So I started like reading self-help books, which you have to know a fact about me. I never liked reading. I started to get into reading when I read 50 Shades of Grey. Nice fun fact. But I never was into books when I was younger. Never. I just hated it. It was just feeling like a burden. Also, maybe because it was like connected to school. So maybe if I wasn't in school, I would probably read for sure. But yeah, I started to read self-help books, go after changing my mindset. Self-help books opening up my eyes. I'm like, wow, wow, wow. Like realizing so much stuff. From that on, I started working on myself, on my issues, my trauma, my mindset. And on some point, I dropped that weight off my chest and off my back. Everything that was chaining me to my past, I cut it off. My past didn't define me anymore. I wasn't a victim anymore. I didn't see myself as a victim. I stopped asking, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I knew that everything that has happened to me in the past was because of a purpose, a bigger purpose. I always, again, wanted to help other people, so I knew it was because of that. So I could help other people understand issues and situations and trauma and traumatic experiences with my own. So I could tell my story, which I'm doing now. And also generally. So yeah, I started just realizing stuff. I'm like, I'm not a victim. It was never my fault that people never liked me. It's still not my fault. People are just, again, intimidated by my energy, intimidated by me. Which again is not something that I should hold accountable like myself, because it's not me. I realized it was never my issue. It was other people having issues and doing bad stuff. But am I saying that being like, you know what, I forgive you, everyone that did bad things to you? No. I did a lot of apologizing to myself and just being like, you know what, I'm letting go of my past. Doesn't mean I'm forgetting. I'm one of those people that just never forgets about stuff any point in time. I still dream about just bad stuff from the past because it's trauma. It's traumatic. It was trauma. So I still dream about it. Am I like healed from everything from the past? Yeah, I am. But that's deep rooted. I can't erase it. But I realized a lot of stuff that I was starting to heal. I was starting to realize stuff that I am worth it. You know what? I'm worth it. I'm still learning, and I still even learn from that point on about a lot of stuff. Even about the fact that I deserve love, and there can be a good love out there even after my toxic relationship. There's a lot of things I still was learning. So then I could say finally I became truly happy after 23, 24 years. It took me to be finally happy and be happy in my skin and happy what I'm doing. Because when I left high school, I started pursuing my dreams. I started what you call now being an entrepreneur, being a proud entrepreneur, like going after my YouTube, like starting a new YouTube channel talking about beauty, lifestyle, and so on, and just then starting streaming, podcast, ideas, and just embracing and just loving me and my ideas and the fact that I can do this and I can go after things. I became so happy. Like when I mean, that was the biggest thing when I left high school and when I was like tackling my issues and my depression and just going after my dreams. That's when I was truly happy after so many years. I could say wasted, but in my eyes, like they were wasted on some point, and I was regretting, and I was saying, oh my god, I wish I could change my past, but I wouldn't change my past for a thing. I wouldn't change all the heartaches, all the bullying, anything, whatever happened, like the abuse from the woman that brought me to this life. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change any experience, anyone disappointing me, anyone walking away from me, because it made me into who I am today. Me opening up my heart, me feeling my soul, me giving back to people, even though I was lacking on so many points in life and I was lacking of so many things in life. But I realized there is a bigger purpose behind everything that has happened to me. So I stopped seeing myself as a victim, even from a toxic relationship or just anything by this point. I was not a victim anymore. I was like remembering the fact that I was a child that was very sad and the times were very hard. But still, I wouldn't change it for a thing. Even though when I look back at that tiny Larissa sitting in the corner, I would give her a big hug. That's the only thing I would do. And just tell her that everything's going to be okay. So realizing the fact that I cannot change the past is just a big thing. And when you're just telling yourself you can change the past is the past. Whatever happened to you is what happened. And it doesn't have to define you. What people say doesn't have to define you. It's not you. What you think here and when you see here, it's you, So if you see a bad person in yourself, you have to change some things and a lot of things. There were situations where even people tried to creep back into my life, but there is no space for you in my life. So if you again see this or see me somewhere and remember or whatever, and you're like, oh my god, that's Larissa from high school, middle school, or whatever, there's no space in my life for you. Even when I'm gonna succeed, become rich and everything, there is no space for you. Your space is in the past. Your space is not with me. I get the question sometimes or from other people, not from whatever. Would you ever forget your mother? Even people telling me, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. Everyone makes mistakes. Yeah, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has those days. But there's a difference between making simple human mistakes than basically ruining someone's life. Back in the day, I looked as her, what she was doing, and my ex and bullying, everything. I looked as all those factors as a way that it destroyed my life. It destroyed who I could be. But again, I wouldn't be me if I didn't have that, right? So even on some point in my life now, I realized that I'm gonna become a motivational speaker and talk about everything and help others and start doing stuff and start creating stuff. So you might not know, but I even started my own podcast called The Vision, which I love, and I want to talk about more and more stuff as, self-growth, healing, problems, even just opening up, because again, I am embracing vulnerability this year. So even just simple stuff as, you know, um, dealing with day-to-day stuff and whatever, we're again all human, and not everything just seems just like black and white. Everything's just, oh my god, amazing, right? Um, but I still keep learning from different people. I still, you know, sometimes repeat same patterns, that I've seen throughout my entire life. But I can handle stuff now. I can handle stress. I can handle failure, because we all have to fail our way to success. If that's success to becoming happy, if that's success to becoming whatever, we have to fail our way to success. Failing is good. Failing doesn't mean you are done. You're done with your life. You will never reach any goal. Like, if that's personal or a business or whatever in your life, doesn't mean you're never gonna reach it. Everyone fails. You're not weak for failing. Giving up is something you shouldn't do. Did I ever give up on myself and on my life? Yeah, so many times when I was so depressed, but not anymore. I have learned to love myself and earn the confidence throughout my entire years. Like, even again, from being a tiny girl, like, I learned to be confident and be okay with myself and my skin, My wounds and my scars became the material that I teach other people about, to open up people's eyes and, help them with their independence, help them with their pain, their wounds, their deep-rooted trauma, their depression, their sadness. Everything that I went through became a tool for me. And again, I do motivational speaking on Twitch all the time because I just want to help people. I have to start somewhere. So I start here on the internet, and then I start on my podcast and on my streams, my Twitch streams. So yeah, like I said, I am embracing vulnerability in 2020. I am a very emotional person. Like, I literally am so emotional. I even became 10 times more emotional in December. I feel like October, November, December-ish. Like, literally, I can see a couple being happy and I'm gonna start crying. There's times where I see sad things and I start crying. But you know what? That's me. I'm an emotional person. Does it mean I'm weak? No. Being emotional doesn't make you weak. So again, if you're going through stuff because of other people, it's not you, it's them. Also, a big thing was that I was trying to get into religion because, I always needed that help. I felt like I need help. And the protection, I was always searching for protection, help, and love. So I tried to, and also miracles. So I tried to get into religion, and it always felt so forced, It didn't work out. It didn't work out because, again, it was just no. But, I always also searched for people that would be taking off the burden that I had, and just, I could stop being strong for a moment, which was a big thing, but that was just a part of my journey. But when I found out about a secret as an adult, I realized everything is in my hands, in my head. Everything that I do, my life, how my life is, my life decisions, my bad decisions, everything in my life, it's in here, and I have the key in my hands. I have the tool in my hands. Everything bad, good, everything, people walking in and out, everything I created. And that was also a big realization which you go through. It's hard because when you've been told that it's your fault your entire life, and being told that, oh, this and that, it's deep-rooted, so it's hard to break from that. And also as an adult, again, I realized that happiness is not in others. Like, getting a partner, getting into a relationship is not gonna fix you. It's not gonna heal your wounds. It helps, but it's not gonna fix stuff. You have to fix stuff yourself, not anyone. Sure, get help if you need help from a professional. Again, from a friend, from a teacher, anyone. If you need help, ask for it. Again, it doesn't make you weak at all. It doesn't make you weak. But yeah, changing my mindset while I was like healing myself in the process of healing and everything was such a big game changer, guys. It was the biggest game changer ever. I'm gonna make a video about like law of attraction on some point for sure, because I love to talk about it, and it's a big thing that has helped me so much. Like, do people still disappoint me? Yeah. Do people still hurt me? Yeah. But am I gonna go cry? Yeah, probably. Or am I gonna feel bad for a bit? Yeah, but I have to keep on going. There's no time to waste time on people. It took a long time to find myself, you know? Like, it took a lot of work and energy to find myself. It didn't just happen overnight. Because now, since I'm a bubbly and positive person and I love to inspire others and everything, a lot of questions I get is, how can you do this? How is it that you're like this? And a long journey I had to take, a lot of work, and a lot of information I had to take in, a lot of stuff I had to be honest about to myself, not to others. Yeah, to others too, but do you know what I mean? A lot of stuff. A lot of freaking stuff. But again, I would never change my past because it shaped me into who I am today. It gave me a purpose in life. It was always a thing that I never knew what I want to do in life. I wanted to become a singer, but I always wanted to like create stuff and have my own company, so on and so on, but never had a purpose, never, you know, but I found my purpose, and it's helping people. It's helping people with everything and just opening people's eyes and making them see that they can fix stuff. They can grow, they can create stuff, they can do so many things, because again, everything is in our hands. Whatever you want to become, whatever you want to fix, you can do if you really want to. The only thing I would say is what I would say to my younger self is to keep on pushing. That you're always gonna encounter situations where you could get hurt, even throughout your entire life. Even when you master your mindset, you know, life is never gonna stop on spinning, and you know, the planet is never gonna stop on spinning. Bad things are never gonna stop on happening, because life tests you. You know, that quote that says, you know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's how it actually is. You know, even if bad things are happening, there's still positive things that came out of that bad situation. And whatever, you can look at my past. There were situations where I was wanting to die. Like, I was wanting to die so bad, and I was wishing for me to die so many times, you know. And I'm here now. I'm okay. I'm healed. I'm a whole. I'm happy. So you can be happy too. Even though, like, no matter what happened, no matter what trauma you went through, you can't like erase it, but you can grow from it. So what I would say to my younger self is just keep on going. Like everything that I said now, also just keep on going. Like, you're gonna be happy in the end. You're gonna be happy. Because I always felt like I'm never gonna be happy. Oh, I'm never gonna be happy, but I am. I finally am. One thing that I'm just gonna read from my notes directly, I'm not gonna whatever, is I was thinking about if I should film this. I did mention this on the beginning because I was like, I don't know if I should share this. You know, but I'm happy that I did, and I'm happy that I'm still gonna share my experiences and everything on this point. Now I just wandered away from my notes, but whatever. We have to spread more awareness about bullying, depression, sadness, and so on, and talk about problems and people just going through stuff through day-to-day life. Do you know what I mean? Again, because you have problems doesn't make you weak. Everything that you're doing is okay. Failing is okay. Not feeling okay is okay. But you have to keep on going. You can feel okay or not okay for a few days, but you cannot continue doing that for years and years to come and waste time. Waste precious time, because we only have one life. So never go and do a mistake that could take away that one chance that you have to work on your life and just fix things that can be fixed, because everything has a fix. Everything can be fixed, any problem. So yeah, it was just the right choice to make this video. I know that it's gonna bring awareness and it's gonna bring something to someone. I hope and I wish. But again, being sad, hopeless, and lost and hurt doesn't make you a hopeless case. It doesn't mean you're hopeless and it's gonna just keep on going on. I mean, as long as you're gonna drag it on. Again, everything's starting here. So you have the key in your heart to change stuff. And again, feeling emotional, being emotional, going through stuff doesn't make you weak. Everything that happens in life is on a bigger picture, about a bigger purpose. It's a part that makes you and shapes into who you are today and what you think about today and what your again purposes and thoughts and perception, everything, but doesn't mean you are a bad person or there's something wrong with you. But again, making bullying into, like, I feel like nowadays people are trying to make bullying and hurting people into something okay, but it's not okay. We have to spread awareness that it's not okay. It's not okay. And also one thing that I want to mention is like, no matter who is hurting you, what abuse is happening is not okay. If that's happening by your family member, if that's like happening by anyone outside or in school or anything, that's not okay. It's not okay. And it doesn't matter if someone's your family or your friend, you have to get rid of them. You have to distance yourself and just become who you're meant to be. Again, should you care what other people say? No. Should you live by the rules what other people tell you to do? No. No. So, one message that I have to my haters, because there's still people hating on me out there, have a nice day. I wish you a nice day. I hope you have a nice day and you're doing good and you're like reaching all your goals. Because it doesn't mean if I had bad experiences that I'm gonna hurt others as you did it with me. Because that's one thing I don't understand. It's like a lot of people are talking about the fact that, oh, they were going through stuff as a kid and that's why they're doing stuff. Like, even people that are saying bad stuff to others or bullying, like, I'm not okay with it. I'm not gonna be like, oh, yeah, because you had problems, I'm gonna be okay with what you did to me or to anyone else. No, there's no excuse. But yeah, to everyone else, my message to everyone else is just to never give up. Like, never give up. This is my message to you. Like, never give up. To everyone out there that has a nice soul, that are just a decent human being, that are just living their life. You can pull through, you can push through this, whatever you're going through, whatever is happening, even if it's just you being annoyed by someone and you don't have the problems that I did, or you're not going through like big things. If you're just dealing with minor things, with just whatever, getting a job, being in a fight with someone or whatever, do you know what I mean? You can push through this. And I think I did talk about everything. I did. One thing, I'm gonna make a separate video about another situation that has happened last year, and a lot more, just like videos with messages. But this video I wanted to film so badly to show that you can survive anything in life. Anything. To the left, you can go bitch to the fucking left. Like, yeah, you can do this. I believe in all of you that are going through a lot of stuff or were traumatized by a lot of stuff or anything. Honey, you can do this. You can do this. If I survived all of the bad, everything, and fighting even my own demons and just, again, outside of school and just everything as an adult, I still went through pain. I was still disappointed, And again, it's gonna keep on going. Life never stops. Again, life is gonna try and test you, and they're gonna throw rocks at you to see if you can, like, withstand it. If you can, like, just stand still and just survive it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I hope that this video was in any shape or form helpful to anyone. If you're gonna hate on me, if you're gonna be nasty in the comments, I'm either gonna block it or just ignore you because I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm okay with who I am today because I worked on it so hard. I have so much love for myself. And I wouldn't change anything for anything to be where I am because I'm happy. You know, I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm happy what I'm creating. I'm happy in my life. I'm so happy. I wouldn't change anything for a thing. I wouldn't change or bring back certain people that hurt me, or even just people that, filled up my heart but still made me hurt. I wouldn't. There's a lot of things I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything. And again, you can do this. I did too. I survived it, so you can too. Again, if you need help, seek professional help from teachers, anyone, please seek for help. If you know that someone is suffering, that they're going through stuff or being abused, please help them and make them get the help that they need, even if it's calling the police. Please do it. Do things that I didn't do. Learn from my mistakes. And just know that there's another day, another opportunity. Problems can get fixed. Don't waste your life because of someone. Don't make a mistake that's gonna cost your life because of someone else or someone else's words. Don't do it. I believe in you. And guys, if you wanna have a conversation in the comments down below, share your story, whatever you wanna do it. And just, show that it's okay not to be okay. Again, there's a lot of things that we don't see behind the scenes in a lot of situations, even social media. People are going through a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff that a lot of people don't talk about, but we have to. We have to spread awareness that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to have bad experience. I'm not saying that bad experience is okay, but it's okay to be human and just have feelings and just, it's okay to cry. It's okay. And we have to spread awareness that we're only human. We can do as much, And I hope that this video serves you well in any way, that it inspires you to go after your dreams, that it inspires you to leave your toxic relationship, that it inspires you to stand up to your bullies, that it inspires you to anything good in life. I hope so. That it brings something good and that I'm serving my purpose in life as I should. Guys, I love you so freaking much. I'm sending you all the positive energy. I'm proud of you. Whatever you're doing, I'm proud of you. Even if you don't like me, you know what? I wish you a great life. Even if you're gonna hate me or hate me, hate on me in the comments or gonna be rude or nasty. You know what? I deal with people like you all the time and I'm okay. I don't care because I'm rocking my life. I'm loving my life. And so should you. I love you guys.